So we're going to start with the sign here. And the very first thing I'm going to do is just paint with some white. I'm using Simplicity is the color of paint that I'm using. I'm sure all of you probably have white paint in your stash. White is just so great behind napkin art because it just, the colors just really, really pop, right? They just really, really pop. And yes, we will let you know. I promise we will let you know as soon as the snow globes come in. Okay. We do have some deliveries coming sometime today. We have some more coming on Monday. So yes, I promise I will let you know as soon as they come in. All right. So just going to do a quick coat of paint onto our surface here. And doesn't even have to be like a great coat of paint. I don't want the raw wood showing through the napkin on this one. I want it to be white. Now that is kind of a fun thing to do. You can napkinize directly onto the raw wood, the blonde, or I call it naked wood, and the wood will show through. But I think with these particular napkins, I want this pop of white. I want some crisp white. All right, so I'm just going to get this on, and then I'm going to go ahead and kind of, I call it cleaning my brush. I'm just going to kind of clean my brush on the sides. Right along here. Several of you have already signed up for Little Somethings, and I'm so excited that you have. We want to get a ton of people in there. We're just going to have so much fun. It's going to be just truly an event, 3 hours of just fun Christmas crafting, fun Christmas giveaways. Santa's coming. We're even going to do some fun things in the group before we even have the workshop. It's a workshop that I used to always teach live at my shop, and we would teach it at the shop several times, and then it kind of outgrew the shop, so we had to rent space to have these workshops, and I really miss doing them. And so this year will be the first year we're doing it live, like online. So I'm really excited about it. Okay, so now we have our paint down. I'm going to go ahead and just pop it with my heat gun real quick just to get it dry. Look at me. I'm painting one thing, and this is how messy I get. Anybody else out there a messy painter? No, there's not a deadline. It's $15. It's a 3-hour workshop event. It'll be fun. I know. I feel like I'm doing, if I don't get paint on my hands, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. It's just meant for me to have paint on my hands. All right, let's just take a second to dry. I'm not going to paint the back right now. I'm just going to focus on the front. But obviously you could paint the back, or you could napkinize the back if you want to. Okay, so let's talk about our napkins that I'm going to be using today. I think these are so cute. They're little colorful Christmas trees. Aren't they adorable? Little colorful Christmas trees. But I did want to show you, because sometimes napkins can be problematic. And this is 6x6. This is actually a cocktail size napkin, as is this one. So let me show you what I did. When this napkin was unfolded, you can see that these trees are going this direction. Oops, hang on. I think it's this way. No, it is. This was right. This is how I cut it. Okay, so these trees are actually going this direction. These trees are going that direction. And it's not like I can just lay the napkin down on top of this. Otherwise, I'll have some trees going upside down. Does that make sense? So I cut this portion off, and I'm going to cut this portion off. I'm just cutting right above the stars that are on the treetops. And I mean, that's kind of cute too, but we could use that for something else. We'll put that to the side. So now then, when I turn these, I have all of my trees going the same direction. Now I have a little, see these little bitty teeny treetops right here? I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those. Just that little edge. And then that way I'm going to be able to match this up really well. So I'm going to cut this one just a little bit better, a little closer to the stars on the treetops. I can see a little bit of the bottom of the trees. There we go. Okay, so now then, you can see that when I bring my trees over here, I'm going to have a little bit, this will be a little longer than I really need it to be. I'm just going to cut it and then I'll sand off the edges. It doesn't have to be perfect. And what I like about having scraps like this, you guys, is if you were going to gift this, this could be such a cute tag, right? Like you could napkinize some paper or make a little card or a tag or something to kind of go along with it, with your the gift that you're giving. Also, you're going to have multiples of the Merry and Bright. Like that could even be put on a white gift bag. That'd be really, really cute. So just having everything coordinate is just kind of a fun, it's a fun thing to do. All right, so let's see what is going to fit here. It looks like I'm going to be able to get, all right, let's go ahead and cut this little edge again. We'll just sand this off. All right, this should work for me. So yeah, two really great little scrap pieces there. That would be really fun to do a card or a tag. All right, let's go ahead and remove the napkin ply. I'm going to be using Mod Podge matte today for this project. Yeah, the Little Something Workshop projects, people have been asking me, is it going to be all fabric? Is it going to be all napkins? Is it going to be paper crafting? It's going to be all of the above. It's going to be a little bit of everything. So it is a crafter's workshop. So it's going to be a little bit of everything. It's not geared towards just one of my membership groups. It's all the things I love to play with. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. All right. So normally I do my little lick and stick method for this. I'm just going to show some of you that don't want to do that. This is what you can also do. Just tap your finger into just the top of that Mod Podge and just kind of tap, tap, tap your thumb and your finger together until it feels sticky, not gluey, not wet, but sticky. And then you can just kind of press the pieces together. And that's how we get our plies off. Okay. So very, very simple. You can use just a little dot of Mod Podge, or I most of the time just do my lick and stick method. It's just easy. It's my DNA, so it's okay. All right. Whoops. All right. So how many of you have started your Christmas crafting? You just signed up. Yay. Thank you for signing up. That's awesome. Yes, tell me in the comments, have you started your Christmas crafting? Some of you are giving, you may be working on bigger gifts, bigger type projects, which is great. Now is the time you should be working on those things. And then in between those bigger projects, in between, like, you know, I kind of have crafter's ADD, right? I kind of have crafter's ADD. I'll be working on maybe a bigger project and then I'm like, I just need a break from it, right? So I'll take a break and maybe work on something small like this, right? Just something quick and easy. And then I'll go back to that bigger project. So I usually have multiple projects happening at the same time. And I know for some of you, how many of you are that way? I have multiple projects going on at one time, and I kind of float from project to project. I know there are also crafters out there that are not like that. They have, when they start a project, they have to finish it before they start the next one. So how many of you, yeah, just say, which kind of crafter are you? Are you a have to finish it when, right, you know, when you start it before you start a new one? Or are you like me? I kind of have multiple projects going on at a time. All right, I'm gonna just lay this portion right here. And I'm not going to overlap this one. It's not going to overlap. I'm just going to come really close to the edge. Just kind of butt those edges up right there together. Cute, cute, cute. So it definitely helped me to cut that napkin apart so that all my trees were going the same way. Okay. Sometimes that happens with napkins, directionality. One square will be going this direction, another square will be going this direction. I mean, they can be going, all four squares of a napkin could be going a different direction, but that doesn't mean that you can't cut them apart and then piece them back together. Okay. So I'm going to use my plastic wrap right here. Okay. I see a lot of people have many projects going on at a time. I'm just using my plastic wrap to smooth. I have so many projects going on. Oh, here's someone else. I have to finish usually, though there have been times when I have more than one in progress. Yep. I think there's two types of crafters, and that's definitely it. Some that just they have to finish the project before they start the next one. And then some of us that we just can't help ourselves. We have multiple projects going on. What I'm doing right now is I'm just taking my fingernail through the little shiplap valleys. If you don't want to use, if you don't have a fingernail to use, you can always use like maybe even a toothpick, sometimes even just the end of a paintbrush, just something to kind of go down, just to make sure our napkin gets down in that, you know, the little nook and cranny there. Okay. Oh, you're currently at a retreat crocheting, but going to learn napkins when I get your first box. Awesome. Yep, you're gonna love napkin art. Napkin art is good because it's like instant gratification. It's fun. All right, I'm just going to dry this. I want to make sure it's good and dry, and then we're going to sand off any of the excess off the edges. So thank you again, those of you that have already signed up for Little Somethings. I'm so excited. Yeah, I'll post the supply list. I'm going to have little inspiration sheets for each project, so it's just easy for you to recreate them. But, oh, one thing. Oh, yeah, I am doing a design printable for Little Somethings too. What else am I doing? Templates. If I use a template, I'll have the template for you. Sorry, I'm just looking for some sandpaper. Get some out of my drawer here. Just going to use a little piece of sandpaper here for this. And then, what was the other thing I was going to tell you? Templates, all the things. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. It is going to be a mystery. The projects themselves are a mystery. I'm calling them a merry mystery. I think we all need a few surprises in life. So even though you'll have your general supply list, you're not going to actually see the project until Little Somethings, until we actually make it. And then we'll be posting the inspiration sheets into the group right then as I show you the projects. Okay, so we've sanded this off. It looks really cute, really, really fun. And so this is the next part of our cute little sign. We're going to add this merry and bright. So first thing I'm going to do is cut a square here. There's 4 images on this napkin. Oops. Now, here's where things can get a little tricky when you're layering napkins, okay? When you're layering napkins, what happens, and I haven't taken the plies off this napkin yet, but if I do, and I just have the tissue here, then the other trees in the background are showing up through it, okay? So that can be kind of problematic. So we're gonna fix that. We could leave this just square, and we could trace it out. Like we could just leave it square and trace it out. But I kind of like the circle, the circular look. Okay, so I'm going to take my scissors here, you guys, and I'm going to leave some white. Okay, that's important. We're going to leave some white, and I'm going to cut around this. And I like to, if I'm going to do any kind of cutting on napkins, I like to cut them while the plies are together. If you separate the plies, the napkin is so much stronger with the plies. So if you separate the plies and you try to cut it, sometimes it will tear. So I think you guys can see that really well there. Just cutting around. Leaving some of that white, and it's okay if some of them have a little more white than others. Some of it's just how it's situated on the napkin. It'll look really cute and fun. All right, so now this is what I've done. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to introduce you to, and of course, if you're in my napkin club, this is old hat to you, like you know all this stuff, right? But I'm going to tell you about the wonders of the friction pen. The friction pen. It is a crafter's best friend. The ink disappears with heat. Okay, the ink disappears with heat. So let me just show you. I'll just kind of do a little squiggle, squiggle, squiggle. You know, just did a few little marks here on this napkin. What happens is you can trace things. You can do templates. You can make yourself registration marks. You can use it on fabric, wood, paper, anything. And when you heat it, it disappears. Okay. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to take this. I'm going to position this exactly where I want it to be. And I'm going to actually raise it up a little bit. I'm going to raise it just up slightly because I'm thinking we might do like a cute little bow or something down here in the corner. So I'm going to raise it up just slightly, a little up of center. Okay. A little upwards of center. And now I'm going to take my friction pen here and I'm going to trace around my cuts. Does it have to be perfect? No, no, no. And again, the ink line is going to disappear. Let's see, did I already do that one? I'll go back and look and make sure. Go over this one more time. Yeah, I want to be sure I can see it really well. Okay, this one a little bit more. Okay, I think I can see all of those. So what I've done is I've gone in and I've traced, right? So you can see that I've just traced with my friction pen there. Friction pens are fabulous. I use them in all of my, they cross over into all the types of crafting that I do. $1.99, well worth it. We sell them in the shop, or you can get them at anywhere. They're made by Pilot. Just have to make sure that they say friction erasable, right? They have to be erasable, Frixion. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to come back in with paint. Let me find my white paint. That is not it. This is it. All right, I'm going to come back with my white paint, and we're going to paint this image in. Okay, we're going to paint this image in so that way we don't see. Let's see which paintbrush I want to use. I think I'll use this one. That way we don't see the other Christmas trees coming through. Okay, so I'm just going to go along each scallop. I'm going to go along the scallops first. If you get outside of the pen line a little bit, please don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Remember, we have the outline cut that's kind of white on here anyway. Now, layering napkins gets more involved. Okay, it can get it more involved. If you're in the napkin club, we do some projects that have a lot of napkin collage, right? A lot of napkin collage. And so there are different ways. There are different kind of practices and different ways for collaging napkins, depending on the napkin itself, the image itself. And those are all things that we teach or I teach in the napkin club. We're having a lot of fun in there right now, working on some really pretty Christmas projects. So if you do start playing with napkins and you're like, I kind of like this, I want to learn more, make sure you get on our wait list for the Napkin Club. We are working off of a wait list right now, but every month we usually have a few open spots, and that's where we go to fill them is our wait list. And I forgot to mention that Cheryl McCarson is with me today. She's in the chat today posting shopping links and answering questions, sign up links. She's helping out in the chat for me today. But we would love to have you. Okay, so I think you can kind of see, I just like kind of going around and doing the detail part first. It does not have to be completely covered up. It's kind of cute. It may be kind of cute if a little bit shows through. We just don't want so much showing through that it distorts our words, all of that. So now I'm just going to come in and fill in the middle. Very easy here. And then I'll dry it. And I usually just kind of, after I dry it, and keep in mind when we dry it, what's going to disappear? Remember? What's going to disappear? Yeah. The friction pen, the ink lines, the friction pen lines. So I usually dry it, erase my pen lines, and then I kind of look at it and I just like, okay, do I need to add a second coat of paint or not? Okay, so you see what I mean? You can still kind of see through it, but it's going to be much more muted. So sometimes I like that. Sometimes I want to see that kind of muted image coming through. It's just a fun kind of effect. Sometimes I don't want to see any of it. And if I don't want to see any of it, then I'll just put another layer of paint on. Okay? All right, let me go down here so I can see your comments. You just joined the wait list. Awesome. Oh, you found me during Jingle and Mingle. Well, that's great. Thank you. Yeah, once you sign up, you're in the club until you choose to cancel. Yeah. And when you cancel, we just ask that you cancel by the last day of the month, before the next month, right? The last day of the month. All right. Let's dry this up. I see a few little spots, and that's why you always want to dry it first, because sometimes you just don't see things. Do you see those little spots right there? Sometimes you just don't see things as well when the paint is wet. So I'm just going to come in and kind of take care of any little spots here. Just kind of, I'm not going to really go around all the scallops again. I'm just going to kind of go here in the middle. So I'm going to disguise these trees a little more. All right, I think that's good enough. Now we're going to dry it, and then we're going to separate our napkin and decoupage it on. Okay, we're going to separate this one. I'm going to bring the heat in a little close just to make sure all my friction lines are gone. Looks like they are. All right. Now we're going to separate. And just so you know, these napkins all have 3 plies, which means you'll need to take off 1, 2. Sometimes they come off together, and that's fabulous. We just want the one that has the actual artwork on it. We just want the top tissue. Now let's kind of lay this on here just so you can see. It's almost going to be like a puzzle piece, right? Like just fitting down a puzzle piece. But do you see how now it looks nice and crisp and white? Yeah, today, let me make sure I'm seeing. I bought the shiplap board, so the napkin comes with that. I think I saw. Okay, if you're talking about this shiplap board, yes, for today, I like to just throw in little bonuses for y'all sometimes with Craft and Chat. And so anybody that purchases the little, this is the 6x6 shiplap board, we're going to throw in these napkins. We're going to throw in these napkins for you today. And then there's also a coordinating napkin that's a guest towel that kind of coordinates with this same little trio of napkins. And it would look adorable on the phone holder. I think it would be really cute. So if you were trying to give some gifts that all coordinated, that could be really fun. All right, our paint is dry. You always want to make sure your paint is dry. I'm actually going to just go ahead and paint this whole entire sign with Mod Podge. It's just easier than trying to get it just in those scallops. And I mean, we're gonna go over the whole sign anyway to seal it, so it's just easier. I like easy. Okay, make sure you've got a nice healthy coat. Haven't missed any spots, anything like that. And now we're just going to kind of lay the puzzle piece in. Okay, so we're just going to kind of, I try to just be very light-handed with it to start. And we're just going to drop it in. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, going to grab another piece of plastic wrap. I love using plastic wrap for smooth projects. Doesn't work as well with projects that have a lot of texture or surfaces that have a lot of texture, but it's great for smooth surfaces. And I'm going to start smoothing the words first, right? I want to make sure that those words look really good. So I'm just going to smooth over them and then just work my way to the outside. This is going to be so cute. Really fun. Very merry and bright. All right. So again, just kind of smooth, smooth, smooth. I like the white outline around it. That really helps it to pop. We're going to do just a little bit of pen work on this. Now we're going to be very gentle as we kind of peel this back. Okay. Because the Mod Podge kind of comes up through it. So you never want to like yank it off. Okay. You can kind of see there's Mod Podge that comes up through it. Dry it. Yeah, the plastic wrap really is a game changer. I totally agree with you, especially those smooth surfaces. It makes such a difference in the release, right? And the smoothness. Now, I mean, it is tissue. You may always have a little bit of texture, but you're not going to have anything like great big wrinkles or crinkles or, bubbles, things like that. I want to make sure this is pretty good and dry. And then we're going to do a top coat over just the Merry and Bright portion. The little, we'll call it a wreath. Looks like a wreath. Because we are going to do pin work, we have to make sure that each napkin is sealed. If we don't, our pin work gets fuzzy because the napkin tries to absorb it. And I've already done a top coat over the rest. So really, as long as I do this part right here, I should be good to go. So yes, we're going to throw this napkin and the Christmas tree napkin. We're going to throw those in for those of you that order the 6x6 shiplap. And if you decide to get a phone holder to coordinate with it, we'll throw in the Christmas tree as well. So we do need to make sure this top coat is completely dry before we do any pin work. And then guess what we get to do after that? We're just going to embellish. We're going to embellish and have fun with this. I'm going to share the clothespin hack with you because these signs could stand on their own. Okay. These little shiplap signs could stand on their own if you want them to, or you could create a little hanger for them. And so to get them to stand on their own, that's what I do the clothespin hack for. Okay. Yeah, you can also use other plastic wraps. Yes. I used cling wrap. I used other plastic wraps before I found the awesome deli bakery sheets. Just get them on Amazon. And the reason I like them better is because it doesn't cling to itself like cling wrap would. Okay. All right. Look how cute. Isn't that adorable? And so those of you that don't, if maybe this is your first time or you're just branching into working with napkins, I hope you enjoyed this is like very napkin art 101, but learning a little bit about how to layer your napkins. Okay. It gets a lot more involved and a lot more fun, but this at least gives you kind of the beginner lesson. Okay. All right, so now let's do some pin work. And you guys, I think what I like to use are these pit pins. And you know what? I don't know. This is an extra small. Pit pins are great for this. Let me see if I have some more. I need one that's bigger. Okay, Miss Susan, if you're out there watching, would you bring me a pack of pit pins? I think I took my other set home. All right, we're going to do a little bit of pin work on this, and then we're going to have a little fun embellishing. I think it's fun. Christmas time, Christmas embellishing is so much fun. So what could we do? Well, we could play with like cute little snowball pom-poms, right? We could do something like that. I pulled some ribbon that I thought would be really cute with this project. Maybe you want to add more. I love getting these. Do you ever get these? I get them at Hobby Lobby. They're made for the miniature trees. They're like miniature tree garland, but I cut them up. And then I have all these little balls. You can kind of cut them in half and stick them, glue them wherever you want them to go. They're just styrofoam, so they cut really easy. Thank you. Will you take it out of inventory for me? Okay, thanks so much. So this is the pack that I like to use. Faber-Castell, it says Essential Art. I love these pens, okay? And you can kind of see, sorry for the glare from the light. I'll hold it like this. So it's a 4-pack, so there's an extra small, a medium, and a brush tip, okay? And they're just fabulous. They'll last you a very, very long time. You just need to take care of them. What does that mean? Well, that means if you go to do pen work on a piece of napkin art, right, and you realize, oops, this part wasn't dry. Maybe you hit a goopy part, right? You hit a little wet part of your Mod Podge. Immediately clean off the nib of your pen, okay? Immediately clean off the nib of your pen. I would say that you just use a baby wipe or something. But yeah, as long as you're using them when that Mod Podge is dry, they're going to be fabulous. They're going to be fabulous, okay? Is this an expensive craft to do? I don't think so at all. Napkins are very affordable. In the Napkin Club, we usually send 15 napkins in every bundle. There's so many things that you can make with them, and there's so many surfaces, from canvases to wood to fabric, glass, metal. Like there's just like the list could go on and on and on. So I actually think it's a very affordable craft. What else? I think it's very budget friendly and very affordable because you can make multiples very easily, things like that. We'll let everybody else chime in out there too, though. See what they have to say in their comments. Okay, I'm going to use the medium. All right, this is the medium. It's marked with an M. And just so that this will show up well. And I'm going to go around some of these little circles, okay? I want it to look kind of fun, kind of artsy, kind of doodly. I'm going to do what I call a double trace. That's where I kind of go back in and trace it twice, but not exactly in the same spot. See how this is going to make it pop? Very cute. And just have fun with it. I like this double trace method because it just takes the pressure off of everything having to be perfect. We have enough pressure and stress in life already. And I don't want to feel that in my crafting time. Right? So you can kind of see some of them, some of these little, we'll call them ornaments. Some of these little ornaments overlap each other. So just kind of follow, just let the napkin kind of dictate what you're doing here. Now, what else could we do to this? I can think of one thing right off the bat. Sparkle. I think we need to add some sparkle. So see how that really just pops? Now we have this cute little, almost like a little ornament wreath. In fact, I think I want to make them look more like ornaments. Do you want to? I want to make these look more like ornaments. So I'm going to come in and just do a little ornament topper. I'm just going to color it in with black. And just put them wherever you want, kind of going different directions. See? Just look like a little rectangle up there. Let's make them look like actual little ornaments. Make this one go here. Do you like it? I think it's cute. Oh, I can't look at it that way. I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way to do this. I'm just going to turn them into little ornaments. That's so cute. Isn't that cute? Really, really fun. Okay, now Merry and Bright, we could do some pin work around that. I'm not really sure that we need to. I think it really stands out. What do you guys think? Do you think it needs pin work? I really don't think that it does. I think it looks pretty cute. I kind of like just the pin work being on the ornaments. But if you did want to add pin work on it, anytime you have smaller details, go to a smaller pin nib. So like I would go down, I would probably say to use a small, should I? Yeah, I kind of think leave it alone. I think it's fine. But if you did want to do it, I would go down to a small or an extra small. Okay. All right. I think this looks great. Now, I think we should add some sparkle. So, oh, that's glossy. I don't want to do glossy. We're going to add sparkle. I'm going to use diamond stickles. I like the stickles that I like to use the best really are the clear ones, diamond, unicorn, and crystal. I'm going to use diamond today. This is like a glitter glue, you guys. I'm not a big fan of loose glitter. Okay. I'm not a big fan of loose glitter, but I love sparkle. Okay. So this is what can give me that. So I think every one of these ornaments should sparkle. So I'm going to squeeze a little bit out. You can actually kind of color it in with the tip, or you could use a paintbrush. Okay, you see on that yellow one. All right, let's go ahead. Hopefully I have enough in here. Actually, let me see. Sometimes you get a little gloober in here. I just use a pin if it gets clogged. All right. Now I'm going to try to not do, I'm not putting sparkle on the ornament holder. Okay. Or the topper. I guess we'll call it a topper, the ornament topper. I'm only putting it on the colored ball of the ornament. And then I think what I want to do is go in and maybe put glossy on the little ornament topper. Glossy accents. Do y'all know what glossy accents is? It's a kind of like a dimensional. It's dimensional, meaning that it stays where you put it, but it starts off kind of milky, but it dries really clear, and it looks like an epoxy or a resin, kind of a resin look or an epoxy look, just solid clear. And it's fun to even put on top. You can actually after your stickles dry, you could even put glossy on top of that. And it looks kind of raised, gives it dimension. So these could look like shiny, sparkly ornaments if you wanted to. And it takes a little while to dry. Stickles also takes a little bit of time to dry, but glossy takes longer because it's thicker. Cute, right? It's so cute. Okay, now Marion Bright, I think, also needs to sparkle. So, because I have this nice little precision tip here, I mean, you can just put it in just the finest areas or finest little details, spots. So I'm just going to trace over my letters. And again, just kind of color them in with the tip for Merry and Bright. I mean, if you wanted to, you could even come in and do like the little stars on all the treetops, or even the trees themselves, or certain colors of the trees. I don't really think Christmas projects can sparkle too much, so you can just go for it. Now my Merry and Bright sparkle. Maybe hard to see. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just pop this just real quickly here. Now I can't put the glossy on right now because I don't want it to run. You know, it stays in place, but it still needs to dry while it still needs to be flat while it dries. So I'm not going to add the glossy yet. I may add that at the end because there's other things I want to show you. Okay, so let's go ahead while this is drying. Let me show you the clothespin hack. Okay, this is the clothespin hack. It's fabulous. It works great for anything that you need to create your own little easel for. And you guys know, I mean, I just have these plain clothespins right here, but you guys know you can get clothespins in colors. You can get glittered clothespins. You can paint them. You can put washi tape on them. I mean, there are all kinds of clothespins out there. And so this is how the clothespin hack works. Okay, so instead of opening the clothespin like this, okay, we're going to slide it. We're sliding it back. Okay, now look what that makes. That makes an easel. Okay, it makes an easel. Now here's what I like about the clothespin hack. I'll do it again here in just a second. When you go to glue this on, and I would finish out the back, I just haven't done that. But when you finish out the back and whatever you're going to do, when you put the when you glue this down, you're only gluing the part that touches the back, right? Don't put it all the way down here at the bottom. Put it up a little bit. I'm going to say maybe about, I don't know, half an inch to an inch. Okay. Because then what happens is when we sit this down, it's going to lean back. We don't want it straight up like that. That's what would happen if you put the clothespin down at the bottom. Bring it up a little bit so that way your project leans. It leans back like that. I usually just put it on with hot glue. And what I love about this is when I'm done, okay, when I'm storing these for the season, you guys, there's nothing keeping you from popping it back closed, and then it will lay flat. And then when you're ready to use it again, right, it's already glued to your surface. So again, we're just pulling this part back. Okay, we're just pulling that part back. See how this part just it kind of rests right in that little groove right there. So easy, so easy. So anything you make that you want to stand on its own, you can use the clothespin hack for. Okay, it makes a great little easel. Just remember, don't put it straight at the bottom. Raise it up about a half inch to an inch so that your project leans back a little bit. Okay, it'll look so much better on display. Okay, really fun. And every color in the world of clothespins is out there. You can go to Amazon and look. I mean, I'm sure there's tons. Lots of cute decorative ones too. I bet you could even find some Christmassy ones. Okay. All right. Let's finish out our fun little project here. So the other thing I wanted to tell you just real quick is if you don't want this to be standing on its own, if you don't want to do the clothespin hack, okay, it's super easy, you guys, to just come in, hot glue some ribbon, right? Like you could hot glue a cute little ribbon hanger, tie some things off of it. Super easy. These are very lightweight. They're very lightweight. You don't have to staple them. Hot glue will work. It's going to hold that hanger on there perfectly. Could be really, really cute, right? Same thing. Let's think about the bottom. If this is going to be hanging, I mean, you could even put some cute pom-pom trim along the bottom. You know, just cute ribbon trim, whatever you want. Okay. I'm glad you like the clothespin hack. Yes, it's a great one. And I think I've shown it on here before, but it's been a while. It's been it's been quite a while. Quite a while. So now if we want to make a cute little bow or something for this, there are different ways to make bows. And sometimes it can be challenging to make a bow that does not have the pattern on both sides. See how this ribbon has dots on one side and it's solid on the other. So I know you guys, I show this, I feel like I show this bow every single craft and chat, but it's such a good bow. And it's also a great bow for, again, when you have a ribbon that is only patterned on one side. Do you see what I mean there? So easy. Now I need to find what I want to put in the center of this bow. So I kind of think it would be cute. We have some white going on, a little bit of this gold going on. Let me grab some ribbon here. I think I'm going to use some ribbon. This is how I store my ribbon, you guys. I put them on ribbon cards. And then I store them in these so I can easily have access to whatever color I want to use. That's a whole nother craft and chat. All right, I think I'm going to use this sheer one with this kind of gold. No. I think I want to use this other one. Hang on. Changed my mind. I'm going to use this one. I just have pins to hold them in place. Okay, so this has a kind of a gold, I don't know if you can see it, has a pretty gold edge to it. So I'm going to take my ribbon. We'll use the clothespin again here in a minute. I'm going to do the little tribute style, right? Little tribute style. Right here, the intersection is going to be the center of the bow. So again, such a great way to make a bow when you don't have pattern on both sides. You're just going to take from the center and push it back, and we just kind of scrunch it up. And then I'm going to use my clothespin just to hold everything in place. All right. Super easy. Now I'm going to take my ribbon. I'm not going to tie it all the way tight yet. I'm going to take off the clothespin just to make sure it's in the center. Cute. And then let's tie another little bow here. I'll do this just a normal bow. So now you could just tie it off in a knot, have the tails hanging down. I'm going to pull this a little bit. Now I have this cute little double bow. Isn't that cute? All right, let's decide where we want to put this. We could put it here at the bottom. We could put it to the side. Where do you guys like it? Like it at the bottom? I don't want to put it, I don't think I want to put it at the top. I think I'm going to put it right here at the bottom. I haven't turned on my glue gun yet. So I just turned my glue gun on. We'll give it a second to heat up. Got a cute little slant. Now this could be a bigger bow if it was going to be hanging. If it was going to be hanging, because you could have more stuff kind of hanging down, and you could do a ribbon up here at the top. Let me cut this just so you can see. I'm a visual person, so I'm sure you guys would want to see. But see, we could just glue it like that. Look how cute that is. Such a cute little sign. So if you want it to hang, it could hang like this. If you want it to just to lean, right, to stand on its own, then I want you guys to do the clothespin hack. Okay. You love storing your ribbon that way? Yeah, me too. Me too. It's the perfect method. And trust me, through all the years that I'm in crafting, I have tried and tried everything, all the different storage ideas and things. And it by far is the best. It is the biggest space saver. There's probably 100 spools of ribbon in one of those little boxes, because the spools, I mean, look at this. The spools are so big. Well, the ribbon is, there's not ribbon on this entire spool. There's probably ribbon to about right there, right? It just saves so much space. And I love that I can see what I have just really quickly, and I have it right there at my fingertips. And then I just sort it by color. So it works great. All right, let's see if the hot glue is getting hot. All right, I'm gonna put myself kind of a nice little blob of hot glue here. Now, I tell everybody that you are the boss of your bow. I'm going to put my fingers into this part of the bow, and I'm going to lay this down. So I'm kind of telling the loops where I want them to go. I'll fix this one here in just a second. I'm going to put another little drop of hot glue here, because we are the boss of our bows. We're going to make sure they go where we want them to go. So cute. So cute. Now we need something in the center of this. And again, that's where, you know, maybe you decide you want to do, you know, I don't know, it could be a little cluster of pom-poms. That's cute, right? We could do a little cluster of pom-poms. These pom-poms could also maybe look cute, kind of scattered. Let's see what else I have over here. I have some snowflakes. This one might be a little big. Let's look at this one. I have a little snowflake I could put there. That one's a little big. All right, what else could I do? What else could I do? I could do, oh, that's pretty cute. We could even add a couple snowflakes up here, right, if you wanted to. So we could do a button, some greenery, a little small ornament, which I don't have, but I think you guys know there's lots of things that you could add. Even the snowflakes are even kind of cute up here as the hangers. Look, that's kind of cute. I think that's, is that the same size? No, that's a smaller size. So even a couple snowflakes. I mean, you could just decorate it up however you want. I kind of like the little pom-pom balls here for some reason. I think I'm going to use them. So I'm holding 3 At the same time, I'm just going to push them down into the glue. That is really cute. And I'm not sure that I want to do this, but just curious what it would look like. Yeah, I think it's too much. What would it look like? I think it is kind of cute sometimes to have something up here by your hanger. If you have your ribbon hanger. I don't know. You guys get the gist. Okay, if you're going to do the hanger, I'm going to go ahead and just glue the hanger on just so you guys can see. I usually lay my hanger out just kind of like this. I'm going to put some glue here. I'm going to put some glue here. You can do it. I'm on a craft mat, by the way, a non-stick, heat-resistant craft mat. And you can just lay it out. Just like that. Sometimes that's easier because you have the visual. You're looking at the front of it instead of turning it over to the back to do both sides. So we're going to let that dry. I think it's really cute. So that's what I would do if I wanted to do a ribbon hanger. Okay. If you don't want to do the ribbon hanger, you're going to split your clothespin. You're going to put your hot glue here. And again, put it on the back, not at the bottom, about a ½ inch or an inch above. Okay. So fun. All right. Isn't it cute? It's so adorable. Very, very fun. Let's do the glossy right quick. So this is the small bottle of glossy accents. And basically, you guys, it's like a clear dimensional medium. When it dries, it's going to look kind of like epoxy or an art resin, very, very clear, very glossy. So let's see, I think this is probably dry enough. I'm going to put it first on the little toppers for the ornaments. And, you know, I did them in black, but you could do them in like a metallic. You could do them in gold or silver metallic. We could come in and do, you know, you could do a little accent. I'm going to go ahead and just cover them. So this glossy, like I said, it's going to stay nice and dimensional. You'll want to leave your project flat while it's drying. And it does take a little while to dry just because, you know, it is thick. But it's all these little touches that really take our project from looking great to just looking like, wow. Okay, so let me show you up close what that looks like. Can you see how thick it is? It's very thick and glossy. Okay, when you first use it, sometimes it'll look a little bit milky, but I promise it's going to dry crystal clear. Okay, I'm going to put it over Merry & Bright also, because like I said, it's really fun to put the glossy on top of the stickles. And we have that same little precision tip, so it makes it easy to just kind of trace around the letters. If I ever have a problem with a letter, like these R's, sometimes I'll just glossy the center in, like the center of the R or the center of an A. It's just easier. So I just add the glossy inside. I think I'm going to do that on all these. So anything that has a center, I'm just going to add the glossy into it. If you get it a little bit, you know, where you don't want it, you can easily quickly clean it up with like a fine tip paintbrush or even a toothpick to kind of push it back where it needs to be. And then after this dries, I'll try to get some really good, you know, like close-up shots so you can see what it looks like. Like this little part right here, I got a little out. I'm just gonna just clean that up and just make sure you clean your brush up quickly. Okay. Now, I don't know that you can see. Can you see it if I kind of hold it like that? Do you see what I'm saying about just going ahead and putting it on the inside? But this is gonna, when it dries, it's kind of dimensional. It's gonna be kind of raised. So it's gonna look really, really cute.